Hi, this is Jessica with CutesyCrafts.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sew an applique, and all an applique is a cutout piece of fabric with some interfacing ironed onto the back to keep it from fraying, and you iron it on to another piece of fabric and then stitch around it. And that's what I did to make these Princess and the Pea embroidery hoops and also this Cinderella embroidery hoop. So what you're going to need is a piece of fabric, some Wonder Under or Heat and Bond. I like to use Wonder Under when I am just doing a regular applique, but I like to use Heat and Bond when I'm using my silhouette to cut out. You'll also need your pattern, some scissors, and your other piece of fabric that is your base of your project. First thing that you'll want to do is take your paper backed interfacing. This is Wonder Under, also called Pellon interfacing, and it has a scratchy side, which is the webbing, and then a paper side. And you need to cut a piece that is slightly larger than the piece of fabric. So this rectangle is going to be my piece of fabric. You need it to be slightly larger than that. So take your piece of Wonder Under and put it scratchy or webbing side down on top of your pattern. And then all you do is take a pen or a pencil and trace around the outside. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to see the pencil, but just trace around the outside of your shape. Just like that. And once you have that traced out, you want to take your piece of fabric and you want to put it face down and take your piece of Wonder Under that you cut out and iron it on top of the fabric. And as you can see here, my Wonder Under is slightly larger than my piece of fabric, so I'm going to trim that down because you don't want the Wonder Under to go over the edge of the fabric or it'll make a big mess on your ironing board. So then just take that and iron it down on the back of your fabric. Once you've got that piece of Wonder Under ironed onto your fabric, you're going to take some scissors and cut the shape out. Now I've got the shape cut out that I want, and you still have the paper backing attached, so what you do is just find a corner and then peel off the paper backing. Now that paper backing can just be tossed aside and you should be left with the webbing on the back, which will turn this into an iron-on and prevents the edge for the most part from fraying. So next you're going to take your main piece of fabric, and then you're going to put this webbing side down wherever it is supposed to go on your project. So you can see here, these are the little mattresses for the Princess and the Pea hoop. And you just iron that down until it sticks. And once you've got that ironed on, it's pretty stuck on there, but you still, especially with the sewable interfacing, you want to go around and either do a running stitch or a blanket stitch, or you can machine stitch around each of the appliques. And you can see on mine, here is an example of a blanket stitch, and this one is a running stitch. If you don't want the stitch to show as much, I suggest doing a running stitch with a small amount of thread. If you want to make it decorative, then the blanket stitch is a better option. And that's it. Appliques are very simple to do. It can be used for embroidery. You can make cute custom t-shirts, tote bags, anything. And all you need is some Wonder Under or Heat and Bond to go on the back, and that's simple.